gathered today to open this new parliamentary year, I want to begin by giving thanks to God for guiding us through the trials we faced and for the strength He's given us to rise above them. Today, I look at MP Westcott and I say that after you, I'm the most senior consecutive member of the Parliament today, and plan to use my seniority and knowledge not to only guide our new Member of Parliament, Dara York of the National Alliance, but also to guide all the new and willing members of Parliament. As a country, we've faced a lot during a short few years, such as hurricanes, economic challenges, and a global pandemic. But through His grace and our collective resilience, we have persevered. Now we stand at the threshold of a new chapter, one where we must commit ourselves to safeguarding the future of St. Martin with integrity, transparency, and a deep sense of accountability. Problems known to us, as the Prime Minister mentioned, we all know the problems. And I've sat and governed, or was part of a governing coalition that had to endure two of the worst of them, Hurricanes Irma and a global pandemic. This current government, though, thank God, did not have to start off their term with any natural disasters, no Dutch interference when it comes to seeking financing, and they were left with millions of guilders on the capital expenditure budget. And I pray to God that God continues to spare them of any disasters going forward. The Prime Minister also mentioned that he would like to see a mindset shift with the members of Parliament. But I hope to see this mindset shift transcend to the Council of Ministers. The call to unify among us, I've heard. But the call to unify will not be, at least in my case, a call to pacify us to silence. But the people of St. Martin can be assured to have a strong, sound, and solution-oriented voice in Parliament. It is said that we are opposition, which typically means, and what we've seen from a majority of opposition members in the past, that everything that the government brings will be opposed. But I stand here today always having a position, not just being opposition. I will always stand for a position that's always in the best interest of St. Martin.
When my grandmother passed, I remember my uncle saying in the eulogy that they had their father, but St. Martin had their mother. And for my daughter, St. Martin has her father. It is not easy on a family. We speak today of unity, unification, not seeing party lines. And while I concur, and I said yesterday in the closing speech, I have seen a level of maturity way different than in February. I have seen growth in MP Roseberg, who have shown as a newcomer to be a formidable faction leader, and I wish you success. I have seen growth in MP Kutai, who have shown his dedication and allegiance to his party, but also shown that he can stand on his own and he has his own mind frame and willing to stand up for what is right. And I speak of these two, and there are many other coalition members that I have worked with and have conversations with, and we are headed in the right direction. So to the new members, the incoming members of Parliament, I hope to see that same level of maturity. We stand here, well, I stand here, and we sit here as what is called opposition members. And I will stand for the country. I will hold the government accountable. If we have to agree, we will agree. If I do not agree, I will not look the other way. I will call you out. I will speak on it. And I will bring my solutions. That is the difference. We can stand here, we can grandstand, but without solutions, you are on a treadmill, and the country will never move forward. 4 years ago, I started out with a slogan, only we can save we. And that slogan remains ever so true. even now more than ever. Don't look to no one else to save we, but we. Today in the paper, Netherlands to reduce Caribbean investment by millions of dollars. Our Coast Guards, our assistance with the Teweyo for legislation to help move this country forward, and many other aspects of life that we are now depending on. Because I've even heard right here in this hall where it was a thought, a process to ask the Netherlands for assistance with GEBE. Please, government, reprogram your mind frame. Don't look for the Netherlands to save us. Because I'm telling you here today, only we can save we.
These groups of special individuals voted for me because over the years, I have displayed a character of integrity, consistency, competence, and compassion for our people. St. Martin is at a crucial point to which a lot of our people are suffering daily. The people of St. Martin have spoken on the day of election, and this is an opportunity for us to start taking decisions to improve the lives of our people. In my short period in Parliament, I often heard the phrase, "A house divided cannot rule." I wholeheartedly, Madam Chair Lady, agree with this. However, the House is not only made up of our coalition members. The House is made up of all 15 of us, each and every last one of us. I've listened to a lot of the speakers before me, and I'm sure I'm going to hear the same thing from a lot of the speakers after me, talking about working together, talking about putting the people of St. Martin first. So let's put our differences aside. Match our actions with the words that we spoke today. Enough of the grandstanding. Enough of the blame game. Just to get political points. It is time for us to produce solutions. Let's bring back hope and trust to the people of St. Martin. I want to repeat that. Let's bring back hope, each and every one of us, and trust to the people of St. Martin. They deserve it. Over the next 4 years, I will do my utmost best to draft legislation that would improve the quality of lives of the people of our country, especially our vulnerable groups, our children, our seniors. That is my goal.
Said, the strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. I repeat, the strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. This profound quote speaks to the hearts of what makes St. Martin so special. Our island is not just a place on the map, it's our home. And just as our home built on values like trust, respect, and love, so too must our nation be built on the foundations of integrity, accountability, and unity. Our national motto, Semper Grow Pro Gradients, always moving forward. It's a principle I hold dear. It's a commitment I intend to uphold as I take the responsibility to be your voice in Parliament. Today, I invite each one of you to join me on this journey towards progress, towards always moving forward. As I reflect on this moment, one truth resonates clearly. Progress is not accidental, it is intentional. It's a choice we make each and every day. Will we move forward or will we hold back? Will we come together or allow our divisions to keep us apart? I would like to take this moment to acknowledge a strong person who is a pillar in my life, my late mother, Cheryl York. I know she would have been proud of what I've accomplished thus far, as I couldn't have done it without the core values, morals, and the discipline she instilled in me growing up as a young boy here on the island. I am forever grateful and immensely mindful for the work and the hard work and dedication she put herself through providing for my future. Over the past couple months, I've been receiving a lot of feedback from supporters, both those who voted and didn't vote for me or for the party. And there's one message that's been loud and clear. Darrell, don't change. And to those, I would like to say, message received, and know that I won't. As Jay-Z said, you can try to change, but that's just the top layer. You was who you was before you got here. That resonates with me because no matter how far we go, we must stay true to who we are. I'll always remain grounded in the values I was raised with, no matter the position or the challenges ahead. You've put your trust in me, and I won't lose sight of that.
St. Martin, as we stated, is not at the crossroads. St. Martin has taken the wrong turn. All hands must be on deck to right the ship. If we do not right the ship, we will all, each and every one of us, we will all feel the repercussions of the decisions that we made. The reason why I decided to get back into politics was not for any selfish reasons, Madam Chair. It was not so that I can be called Member of Parliament Franklin Myers again, Madam Chair. It's because I believe he who is greatest amongst us shall be a servant. And I am here to serve the people of St. Martin as I've served in the past. As I stand here speaking and addressing you and I look at myself on the screen, I don't even recognize that guy because when I started, my hair was black. I was younger and full of energy. But I can say one thing that I've garnered through the years is wisdom. And I read a quote the other day, and it said, knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, but wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. That's what wisdom teaches you. We are not at the crossroads anymore. We need to do things to uplift St. Martin. This morning, we all took an oath or a promise. I would like to bring a suggestion that we, after we take an oath at the governor's cabinet to the king, that we then come to Parliament and make a pledge and an oath to the people of St. Martin. Because those are the people that we must hold first. Those are the people that we must put on high. Those are the people that we must represent 365 days a year. We must make that pledge to the people of St. Martin. We must give government and governing back to the people of St. Martin. Electoral reform is one of the things, the main thing in which the Sualiga Action Movement campaigned on. Why? We thought it was necessary and important that stability be the order of the day. It doesn't matter who's in government. What matters is that who the people of St. Martin selects to run a country for that governing term is given the opportunity to execute their governing program.
For 4 years in opposition, Madam Chair Lady, as a faction, PFP was often accused of being too friendly to the government. Some former ministers in here might be surprised to hear that, but I say it with a reason. We voted for the budget twice, and even voted counter to each other as a faction to prevent legislation from having to go back to the drawing board. Many felt that where we disapproved, whether verbally or with emotion, that there should have been stronger measures taken. Even more suggested, just break it already, Melissa. But my father, who taught and coached many of those who have passed through our political arena, taught me as well that the greater good will almost always outweigh the political blow you can land. That there are ways to uphold the principles of accountability that do not mean tearing things asunder. That is a lesson I hope many learned at the polls this time around. For the coming 4 years, there must be a focus on strengthening our financial position as a country. As MP Otley mentioned, the newspaper today had some very worrying news coming out of the Netherlands. I plan to do so by following up on a legislative package that has already been submitted to the Minister of Finance to regulate how public money is spent and to modernize our current accountability ordinance. Our education system, the very foundation that is meant to build those who may one day pass through this hall or the hallways across the road, has suffered from years of neglect and needs urgent attention and critical decision-making that will not be popular, but it will be right to move it forward. To my coalition partners, existing and new, the work must now continue, and I look forward to the actual manifestation of the collaboration and cooperation that we've all spoken of here today, with an attitude that is grounded in integrity, ethical movement, and a commitment to accountability for what has, what could, and what will happen.
Before closing the meeting, however, I just wish to give an update on MP Irian's statement. And indeed, he follows me in terms of seniority, but not after following MP Grisha Heiliger-Martin, MP Melissa Gums, and MP Franklin Myers, and then yours truly. Okay, the MP said he meant consecutive term, consecutive serving, but that is in terms of seniority, in terms of the amount of days serving as a member of parliament. It is in that order that I just mentioned. I just thought I would share that with you. But thank you again, members of parliament. Thank you for those who and to those who came out to witness this first meeting of the new Parliament of St. Martin, elected for the term 2024-2028. To the family and the political parties of those persons, the members of Parliament, I say thank you and congratulations with your members of Parliament, all now, as we have heard it repeatedly said, here to serve the people of St. Martin.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Tomorrow is World Alzheimer's Day. This morning, this publication was officially launched worldwide. It's the result of a survey done worldwide. More than 40,000 people have expressed their opinion concerning dementia. The most striking result is that a lot of people still don't know what it is, how to go about it. And with this presentation, we first want to thank you for the initiative of your ministry to have this month recognized by starting an awareness with all those in the field that are doing something with dementia. For us, when you read the report, much more is expected from all governments in the world. Our government too, we're looking forward to provide you with those informations, those wishes, actually those human rights that we need.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Yusugun, for all of the hard work you and your organization has been doing on St. Martin for quite a long time. I think you were one of the first organizations who were there for the people of St. Martin, who was there for me in my time dealing with Alzheimer's with my parents. And I think more people need to know. And that's why we have the awareness campaign in the ministry for more people to know what is Alzheimer's and for people to then know how to deal with this illness. So I thank you very much for this. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance.
Don Anderson says the recent Integrity Commission report on Prime Minister Andrew Holness's statutory declarations could influence the outcome of the next general elections. He was speaking on Power 106's Morning Agenda this morning.
Much has been said since the tabling of the Integrity Commission report last week. Pollster Don Anderson notes that the details may not change the minds of Jamaica Labour Party supporters, but more People's National Party supporters may be driven to vote in the next election.
You may find that die-hard supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party, it might mean much to them in terms of a shift, okay? What might very well happen, though, because the optics are very important, is that you may very well find supporters of the People's National Party who were undecided about what they were doing and who were sitting on the fence or kind of apathetic. They may very well come out in greater numbers.
He's of the view that the outcome of the IC report will have an impact on the Prime Minister's future.
Because so far all that has been said are largely allegations and claims about what has taken place. If it gets to the next step and clearly, you know, the Prime Minister's name is cleared without a shadow of a doubt, then again it might, you know, have another effect of pulling back. But a lot depends, therefore, on, I think, the next steps and how far the next steps are allowed to go, because we know that there are attempts to not have it aired much more, you know, as you mentioned, the legal challenges which are being presented right now.
Mr. Anderson further notes that the controversy surrounding the report, among other issues being played out in the public domain in recent weeks, are already showing that Jamaicans are election ready. He says these could lead to a higher voter turnout in the next general election.
More and more people are now accepting that elections are likely to take place before September next year. Of course, it doesn't have to, but they are kind of in a state of readiness. And I think right now what is taking place is not going to depress, but actually increase the degree of interest that there is in voting next time. And we hope we're actually in the field this week. And one of the things that we will be looking at is the likely voter turnout. I anticipate that there will be a higher intention, whether this pans out in the reality is another thing, but that there is a greater interest now in voting than there was in the February election and in the last general election.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.